yourself in and get ready.
Here we go.
The leaders in fantasy football are incoming, giving you the ultimate insight to help you win your leagues and dominate your mates. You're now listening to the Insight NFL Show with your hosts, Guns and Maverick.
Welcome to the NFL. Let's go.
Alrighty, welcome to another Insight Fantasy Sports NFL podcast. I'm your host, Nathan from SuperCoach Guns, and we've got quite a lineup tonight for our mock draft. With me, I've got the big horse. How are you going?
Hey, brother, going well. Looking forward to this. It's the start of another NFL season and couldn't be any more excited.
Yeah, pretty keen. I've also got a co-admin of SuperCoach Guns, Pat. Pat, how are you going?
Yeah, not so bad. Very excited. Can't wait for a couple of preseason games coming up this week, and very excited to get stuck in.
Yeah, we got one tomorrow morning, don't we? That's going to be a heck of a watch for those at work or even at home. And then, last but not least, my regular co-host, Matt, aka NFL Maverick. Matt, how are you going?
Love it, mate. It's mock draft season. Everyone's excited. The season's 3 weeks away. The excitement's at a high level, and mate, my excitement's actually peaking personally myself. So I can't even sit in my chair properly.
You
the
know,
man is stiff as a board.
Yeah. you know the NFL season's coming around when Christian McCaffrey's on the injury report. That's just my signal that the NFL's here. Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. We're doing a mock draft. We've got 12 people from all over social media. A lot of Insight fellas on here as well. You got Matrix and Braino who aren't on the video, but they're drafting. Yeah, I suppose let's get started. And the first pick is Fizbies. Josh Allen off the board. And straight to
yeah,
that.
probably no surprise in Josh Allen being a SuperFlex league. Now, with the depth of QBs on here, I think I'm going to go running back, and you can't go past Christian McCaffrey. So it's for me, it's McCaffrey all day.
All right, we got McCaffrey in. Now Matrix is making his pick. I think he'll probably go Jalen Hurts here, I reckon.
Yeah, he's a big fan. Yeah.
As long as he's aware that it's a SuperFlex league, then he'll go Jalen Hurts. Otherwise, he might find himself with well, I suppose he could do a different strategy, but let's see.
He's keeping us all in suspense. Come on.
Yeah,
Adrian.
I wouldn't mind him going. I wouldn't mind him going Patrick Mahomes. Oh, no, he's gone Hurts.
It's gone Hurts. All right, so we've got Allen, McCaffrey, Hurts, Ace Reed. I don't know. I don't know who that is, but oh,
There we go.
that's an odd sound. Patrick Mahomes, hey? Okay. Nick.
Tough, because I kind of want a quarterback, but at the same time, yeah. Let's go left field.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Someone's been listening to a couple of podcasts.
Yeah, we've talked up Bajan a lot.
Yeah, rate him.
So Bijan Robinson from Mick. Biggs Boys picks Lamar Jackson. Now we've got Braino on the clock. Burrow, hey? Okay. All right, Pat, run us through it.
There's a couple of options I probably wasn't expecting at the moment, but I'm high on one fella here. It's not a quarterback, but I'm really high on him. That's Breece Hall.
Yeah.
So- Boys, given that this is a super flex draft, is this usual for quarterbacks and running backs to be the popular picks in the first round?
I will interrupt you there briefly because I'll do a quick chat on my pick.
Yep.
The man who I've talked up all preseason is still there. It's Anthony Richardson time. That's an easy pick.
Wow.
Yeah. in a SuperFlex league, quarterbacks in the first round is usually the go. I'm surprised that Amon-Ra was the first wide receiver off the board. Tyreek Hill and Kyler Murray, that's a pretty good stack.
Oh, yeah.
What do we got here? Oh, well, CeeDee Lamb's still there. Well, yeah, thank you. Take that. So
My boy.
we've gone, since Pat picked, we've gone CJ Stroud, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Anthony Richardson to me, Tyreek Hill, Kyler Murray, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Pat, you're on the clock again.
I was hoping Jefferson would just fall a little bit further down so I could take him. That's probably been my favourite stack in most fantasy drafts at the moment. But I think the most sensible choice here, apart from quarterback, because I think I've been deferring from that recently, is despite his questionability recently, I think I'm going to go with Puka Nacua.
Ooh. AJ Brown's on the slide a bit. I wonder if Brano will go with him.
Interesting strategy you've gone there, Pat, with the no QB pick yet.
Well, I've definitely found myself in multiple drafts, not necessarily mocks, but actual leagues, not taking quarterback first off, and I'm still pretty happy with how I've ended up. So I think it's working.
So just an update. We've gone, since Pat picked, we've gone Garrett Wilson from New York. Then we've gone AJ Brown, and Mick's gone the stack with Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs.
I really like Gibbs. He dual threat in the backfield for the Lions with, was it David Montgomery last year? There's a lot of touchdowns out of the backfield. So in the flex, don't mind it at all.
And
I know you do a bit of AFL podcasting, Mick, but you do realise that's not Bryce Gibbs, don't you?
Who's she?
we can just sit in silence for that one. Us NRL boys, Pat.
Deadly. I love your chat, brother. Not get nervous at all, mate. Remember, Ben Keys, under 75 this week.
Six horses pick. We've gone Jordan Love. So Ace Reed's gone with Mahomes and Love for his first picks. So his Superflex spot is wrapped up. Matrix has gone Jonathan Taylor. And Matt, what are you thinking?
I like to go some fantasy beast guns, and it's time to whip out your boy Dak Prescott.
Of course it is.
I think I just spewed my mouth a little bit.
I think we all did.
Fantasy beast.
Kyron Williams. Okay, so we've finished, we're 2 rounds in now. So Kyron Williams and Drake London have gone to Fizbiz. Now Matt's back on the clock.
Now, it depends how you want to do this, really. It's probably time for me to go wide receiver. Might be a little bit early to do this. But when this guy's dangling in front of you, I'm going to Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I thought you might. Yeah, I was optimistic he'd make it back, but in reality. Matrix. I reckon he goes Saquon here. He loves that. If he's a big fan of the Eagles, then Saquon makes sense. But no, he's a Chargers fan.
He'd have the Hurts. He'd have the Hurts Barkley stack. He'd be guaranteed touchdowns, wouldn't you?
If you take a premier wide receiver in the first, this is the man you take in the second. I don't know. Takes Jonathan Taylor anyway. Chris Olave. Okay. Saquon goes to Ace Reed. Do you reckon you would have gone Olave there, or would you have been tempted by Devontae Adams?
I had no interest in Devontae.
Yeah, okay.
I do.
Mix has gone bang.
Mix has gone Devontae. All right, so we've gone in the 3rd round so far. We've gone Drake London, Marvin Harrison, Chris Olave, Saquon Barkley, and Devontae Adams.
Why are you not interested in Devontae Adams, Maverick?
I don't like anything to do with the Raiders at the moment. There's
Fair enough.
Questionable QB play there. And he's a beast. Just feed him.
Yep. First tight end.
Kelsey, I would have
That's earlier
gone.
than I would've
Surely it's
expected.
Laporta. Surely it's Laporta at tight end 1. Oh, well.
Obviously, he's a big fan of Taylor Swift. That might be from his missus that won that pick.
He may even have his missus doing the picks for him.
Let's see. Pat, what are you thinking here?
Yeah.
I'm a bit indecisive at the moment, but there's one very diverse running back that I think, and you think, Nathan, he's going to
Damn it.
explode.
Damn it. Yeah, well done.
To an A-chain. And I like that running backfield I've got.
Well, I thought he'd fall to me, and he would have made an excellent RB1. But
Did that
Oh, well.
Ayuk bloke sign? Or
not
what's
yet.
his story at the moment?
Oh, frick, they took my running back. He's probably at Pittsburgh, but nothing's confirmed yet.
Yeah, okay.
All right. We've got 50 seconds so we can discuss it. Who do we like more this year? Josh Jacobs or Isaiah Pacheco? I know who I'm going, but I want your thoughts.
I'm going Josh Jacobs.
I'm going Josh Jacobs too.
I would probably also go Josh Jacobs.
Interesting. I'm the only one that's thinking Isaiah Pacheco. So there you go. Let's see. If Josh Jacobs makes it back, I'll probably take him too.
I know you would.
Yeah.
Hey, Guns, did you just realise as well, but Derek Henry just went full Pacheco?
Yeah, stupid, but that's okay. I am a Pacheco fan. And I'm not even a Chiefs fan. It's Pat that's the Chiefs fan. But so we've got
I like
Laporta.
Pacheco. I think we'll be good.
Yeah, well, so why not take the running back on the gun team? Well, that sorts that debate. I'll take Jacobs too then.
Well, I think Pacheco will be affected by probably a pass-heavier offense this year by the Chiefs.
It's fine. It's not even. It's less of a committee than what they had going last year. That's the thinking. And
That's a good point.
there's too much hype around Marshall and Lloyd, and enough relevancy to AJ Dillon for me to go Jacobs at that pick, or ahead of Pacheco rather. Interestingly, Rashad White went ahead of Jacobs. I don't think that I agree with that, but hey,
In a PPR league, would you?
oh, it'd be close between them, but Jacobs figures to be the every down back as well, and I think Jacobs is the better pure runner.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I just think in PPR leagues that Rashad White just might get dump offs all day, and that it could be the 5-yard sideways pass until he gets, and that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We might have our first out of time. Oh, just. So far in the third round, we've gone with Rashad White, Josh Jacobs, and James Cook. The last pick of the third round was Sam Laporta. So, what do we got next? I reckon if I wasn't so running back, if I wasn't so desiring two running backs early, I reckon I would have gone Mike Evans or Nico Collins at that fourth round pick. I reckon one of them will go here.
I still find it crazy that tight ends go.
Yeah, there's a lot of value too. Like, yeah, Nico Collins went. That's interesting. He's gone 3 wide receivers. I suppose he's probably he might be slightly regretting going Ayuk over a Henry or a Pacheco. But hey, it's a pretty good wide receiver call.
Yeah.
What do
you've got, you know, if this was a real season, you could just trade him.
Yeah, that's right. And Pat, what are you eyeing off here? Is it quarterback time?
No, it's not for me just yet. I'm eyeing off between 2 at the moment, both receivers, and I think I've just made up my mind here.
Yeah.
Mike Evans for me.
Is it Evans versus Diggs?
No, Evans versus Moore for me. I really like what's happening in Chicago this season. So I think he will explode even further onto the scene than what he did last year, and that was a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
He's pretty safe, Mike Evans, isn't he?
Yes. Safe. Bruno's gone Deebo Samuel. That's a pretty fair pick. if McCaffrey's out and Ayuk's being traded, his relevancy this season takes a massive leap. Then Nick, you've gone the big horse.
Yep, I've picked up more from Chicago. Like Pat, I really like his outlook this year in Chicago.
Yeah, it's having such an improved offense that's gonna. It means he's not as double teamed every time as well, which is big for him. Jalen Waddle is the next pick off the board. I don't mind what Ace Reed's putting together here. He's gone Mahomes, Love, Barkley, and Waddle. It's a pretty solid core he's got going so far. Particularly when you've got a lot of depth at wide receiver, and there's a lot of depth at tight end. So he's prioritized that SuperFlex spot in Jordan Love first, and obviously running back's a little bit skinnier than usual this year. Matt, run us through your pick.
I'm going to go wide receiver here, and I'm going to go a safe option in a decent offense. I'm taking Pittman. I think he's going to have a really good year. He's another safe option for mine.
Yeah, I'm a bit higher on him than when we did the wide receiver preview. I think we were both a little bit off him, but now I think, I don't know, hearing a bit out of training camp and seeing some highlights as well, it sort of convinced me that, it's still going to be there's going to be enough passing volume. That's a pretty good stack there. Rounding out the fourth round, we've gone with Trey McBride, and to kick off the fifth round, we've gone Malik Neighbors. I really do like Neighbors this year. I think he pushed Marvin Harrison all the way, I reckon.
I'm back on the clock here, Guns, and in PPR leagues, you just want guys to get the ball, and Alvin Kamara.
Oh, damn you.
PPR legend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good pick. Cooper Kupp from Matrix, fair enough. I like, if Puka Nacua misses time, Cooper Kupp's a top 5 wide receiver, I think. Maybe top 10. That's probably more fair.
I'm going to reach, but I hope this bloke stays healthy because he can be dynamite in the Miami offense.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Ooh.
He's got 4,000 passing yards almost locked up, right? In that offense. Yeah, I can't knock the pick. I think it's just the social media stereotype around Tua that takes his stock a little bit. We've got, since Cooper Kupp, we've gone DK Metcalf, Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Mixon, and James Conner. And we're now at Pat's pick. Who are you going, Pat?
I'm a bit conflicted. I won't lie to you. I'm flirting with a quarterback here, and they do look relatively appealing. However, there's some wide receivers here that definitely tickle my fancy. However, I think the running back rooms are starting to dwindle, and I'm going to stick and pick with a running back. Your man, Nathan.
Damn it. Okay. I was really hoping you made it to me. So we've gone Kenneth Walker, Dalton Kincaid, Brock Purdy, and now I'm on the clock. Stephon Diggs has fallen massively. I'm not rejecting that.
Why is he falling as much? Is it because of the competition in Houston at wide receiver?
Yeah, I think it's just because you've got Nico Collins, Tank Dell alongside him, and he's 30. But he still put up 160 odd targets last year. It's not going to be that this year, but he was a late first, early second round pick last year. Picking him late in the fifth feels like a no-brainer to me, and I'm surprised he fell. Devonta Smith to round out the fifth round, and Amari Cooper to start the sixth round. Now,
again, that's a great pick.
It's a good pick. Amari Cooper in the sixth round is a stud pick. Interesting. I was sort of hoping he fell to me because I didn't think Diggs was making it any further, but I thought Amari Cooper might. Well, I'm in a position where I could go tight end, but I know I can. I could probably sort it out later. But I'm just looking at some of the options here. Like, if George Pickens is dealing with Brandon Ayuk, I don't really want to have Pickens. I don't believe in Tank Dell being wide receiver 3. Tempted by Zay Flowers, but I'm going to go Kittle.
The Kittle cat.
Yeah. Well, we've had 2 quarterbacks off the board now. We've gone Jared Goff and Caleb Williams. So CJ Stroud and Caleb Williams as deadly sweeps as quarterback. That's certainly leaning on the young side of things.
Pick a running back, deadly. Jeez.
Yeah. Jeez, he's looking at freaking Zamir White as RB1.
Loves it.
Pat, what
Just
are
quietly,
you
Guns, as well.
thinking here?
Pack Fallon.
Yeah, he's doing all right, isn't he? Pat, what are
am
your
I
thoughts?
thinking? I'm thinking that there is probably a bit of target competition in his team, but he is a clear number 1 wide receiver, and I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. It was, for me, it was Kittle or Flowers. Zamir White, Alexander Madison stack. That's good stuff. Yeah, it was Kittle or Flowers. But yeah, no, I was pretty convinced on Kittle. We've gone T. Higgins to Bruno. Bruno's putting up a sneaky good team here. Could do with probably one more running back pretty soon as well. But, getting Joe Burrow, Garrett Wilson, Travis Kelce, and Deebo Samuel in your first 4 rounds, that's pretty good going.
Yeah. It's I really do like what Pack Fallon's doing. He's drafted receivers and running backs early, and then gone Purdy and Goff, who are safe QB options. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, because Amon-Ra and Chase as your 2 wide receivers, that's a dream combination. Mick, you've gone Kyle Pitts.
I have. So I actually did a bit of reading about this bloke, and at Atlanta, they're trialing him as a tight end, but also as a wide receiver, and they're looking to get him more a part of the offense. So it's more of an upside pick, former first-round pick. I think you'll look to see him be more part of the offense there.
Yeah, he's essentially their wide receiver 2 and their tight end 1. So it's a fair enough. I was only scared off because Pitts has been a bit of a myth so far in his NFL career, and well, Kittle's a very safe and reliable option. If we've lost Brandon Ayuk and Pearsall's developing a little bit slowly, probably number 2 receiver there.
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens following Kyle Pitts. I think that's fair enough, particularly if a trade deal falls through. I think you've got a real stud wide receiver. In this case, it's also his 3rd wide receiver, so it's not like he's banking on him as the main guy in his team at the wide receiver position. Matrix has gone with Ramondre Stevenson. What are our thoughts on Ramondre this season?
Yuck.
Silence says it all. Matt, you went Christian Kirk.
Yep, safe number 1 option down there at Jacksonville. And I'm going to go with my next pick. I'm going to stack it up. This guy's going to bounce back. Trevor Lawrence.
All right, Matrix is back on the clock. So to
Can I ask you
out,
blokes a question? With Deshaun Watson having his first full preseason and in and amongst the masseuses without being inappropriate, is there a reason why he's falling as far as what he is when he could potentially be QB1 there?
Matt, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I think he's very injury prone, to be honest. It's probably where he falls out of the top QBs is probably where it's at with him. Talent's there, just can't stay healthy at the moment.
Yeah.
But in saying that, he could bounce back and have a monster season. So
Yeah. Let's take a flyer on him. Actually, no, not yet. I'll wait. I actually like this dude. He was hurt last year, but when he did play, he performed and helped me beat you in our 9th versus 10th matchup last year, Morel.
yeah,
Yuck.
we won't talk about that.
No.
So
King.
recapping the 7th round so far, we've gone Terry McLaurin, Trevor Lawrence, Jaden Reed, Rasheed Rice, Aaron Jones, Chris Godwin, and DeAndre Swift, and we've landed back at Pat's pick.
I think it might be time,
Time
but I
for
don't know who. I think it's time for a quarterback, and I think despite what it's all looking towards, I think this guy's still going to have a bit of a monster season, provided he stays healthy. I think everything's pointing to a run-heavy offense, but I still think there's a safe 4,000 yards there for him and a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did notice in the projected stats that Slaper put up, he was projected to fall just shy of 4,000, and I think he had something like 29 passing touchdowns projected for him, which I think's a fair enough stat line. We've got our first running back for deadly sweeps. He's gone Zamir White as his RB1, and we followed that up. And we followed that up with Raheem Mostert. Now, I'm sure you've noticed I've only got one quarterback, and I'm looking to draft another one, but I think I can wait. So at running back, there's a few guys here. So Najee Harris, he's a bit of a plotter on this Pittsburgh offense. Tony Pollard split the backfield. I think it's too early for Javonte, and I'm concerned about him myself. I'm going to reach and pick up Lad McConkey. It's a bit early, but I'm going to reach.
I don't think it's early at all. I think that's going to be Justin Herbert's best friend this year. And I think they're going to do really well together.
The Josh Palmer hype's a bit over the top. There's a reason he hasn't really kicked on so far in the NFL. He's been solid, but not much more than solid. And I think Lad McConkey has the potential to be a star on this offense. Well, I think in the 8th round, I can afford to do this. I'm going to have a punt at Tony Pollard. I think in a split carries backfield, rather than being the pure workhorse, it's where he shined in Dallas. I think it's a solid enough O-line for him to work with at Tennessee. Plus, in the event that Ty Spears misses any time, there's a big workload for him. And he can't handle a full season starter workload, but as a split carries guy, he's pretty good. Pat, you're back on the clock. What direction are you looking to head in?
I think I'm going to go again, and I'm quite high on this bloke because I think he's found himself a home in Tampa Bay, and I think he's going to keep ascending with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. And Brano's followed that up with Aaron Rodgers. I like both picks. I think Baker Mayfield's got all the weapons to continue to succeed. Plus, moving Chris Godwin into the slot, that's going to lead to more completions. And Aaron Rodgers, well, he's Aaron Rodgers, right? Like, the Achilles only really affects your mobility in the pocket. It's not like he's hurt his shoulder and he can't throw as well as he used to. So, pretty happy with that.
Isn't a 4-time MVP for nothing?
I don't know who I'm going to take.
Well,
I've got
what
enough
have you
running
got in-
backs.
Taysom Hill still
Got-
on the board.
Who?
You got 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a quarterback, and a tight end.
I'm going, my man. I reckon if he stays healthy, he'll be good.
Easy hands.
Deshaun Watson. Alrighty. We've also gone Javonte Williams. I think the fact that he's available in the 8th round and he looks back, apparently he's back to his pre-ACL sort of elusiveness, I suppose. That's a pretty good sign. I think there's a lot of value there. It's just if you're brave enough to handle the potential committee that could form around him. Now, I know it's not your pick quite yet, Matt, but who have you got your eye on at the very least? Oh, never mind.
So I'm looking at running back. I only have 2, so I probably need to get a third. I'm looking at a bounce back here from Austin Eckler, PPR league, and they've signed him for a reason. They're not going to sit in there and make him do nothing. He's going to be involved.
Good pick. Now, I wonder what I think Fizbies will look to cover quarterback. Yep, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Stafford's a pretty fair pick. There's a couple of, I think dead zone's a bit harsh, but out of Roma Dunze, Jordan Addison, Xavier Worthy, and Hollywood Brown, who looks the most appealing right now?
It's hard to say. Probably Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, are you picking Hollywood by chance?
No, I'm not. I'm actually going to go tight end because they're thinning out real quickly. So I'm going to go Jake Ferguson. I think it's probably an emotional pick, but I think he's going to take another step forward this year.
Ooh. It's a bit of a reach on the Gus bus from Matrix. That's a Chargers bias pick if ever I've seen one, actually.
Yeah.
Ooh, Addison.
I really like that pick.
Well, I do too, provided he doesn't, get suspended for half the season for the drink driving thing.
Provided.
Yeah. Brian Robinson, Deontay Johnson. Damn. I was hoping he made it back to me.
Yeah, I was looking at him as well at my pick, but I needed a tight end. Otherwise, he would have been picked.
There's a fair few good receivers still on the board here.
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. Yeah, Hopkins, but there's that knee injury that could stop him for a couple of weeks. Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas, who I really like as well. But Pat, quick thoughts?
Well, thoughts of tight end. Which tight end? Not sure as of yet. I'm sure I can make my mind up in 12 seconds. And I think I just have. I think, despite what most people think, the Minnesota offense will thrive more than what people think and won't be a one-man show with Justin Jefferson. At least I'm hoping.
I assume your plan is to draft some cover for Hawkinson if he misses the start of the season?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, just like that, Keon Coleman's off the board. He was probably, if I was going a wide receiver, he's the guy I was going. But provided he's not taken here, yeah, okay. Well, I really like Jonathan Brooks, and he's meant to come back week 3 or week 4. And so snatching him up in the 10th round where he could be a league winner from week 10 onwards, handling all 3 downs, which I do see as the likely outcome. That's what I'll be going with.
I'll tell you what, Guns, your balls will be nearly empty by now. You've picked all your players that you wanted.
Well, nearly. I missed out on an A-chain, but otherwise I'm very happy.
Some people are just a
They're
step
pretty much
ahead.
nearly empty.
I wonder, let's see, who are we going to pick to round out the 9th round. Who has he got he's got a quarterback. He might be looking for another one. Got to say, who would you? Ooh, Will Levis. Hey, he was probably the guy I was going to go in the 10th round.
That's value at that pick.
That's value.
There's so much value.
I was gonna go him.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, that's a shame.
In a SuperFlex league at this pick, that is so much value.
Pretty good. Again, there's lots at wide receivers still. I reckon there's the opportunity for him to go that down that direction, particularly when you look at running back like Nick Chubb. We don't really know when he's going to be back. Zach Moss could lose out to Chase Brown. Jalen Warren's still got G. Harris in the building, and Trey Benson's firmly behind. I don't mind the Blake Corum pick.
2 great picks from Josh there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, I do genuinely think I need to address quarterback. I need a solid starting QB2, someone who's highly unlikely to be benched this season, someone who's going to produce me solid fantasy numbers. He's got 3 high-level wide receivers to throw to. Got a pretty good running back. The O-line's improved. Defense is pretty solid. It's Geno Smith.
Making himself feel better about his own team.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's 11-6 this season.
That's an emotional pick.
It is, but it was going to be Will Levis, and I'm not drafting Bryce Young. So, and everyone else is going to get benched at some point this season. Hollywood Brown and Nick Chubb. Well, I mean, that's a desperate running back room, I must say. Zamir White, Devin Singletary, and Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
That's
They're all RB1s.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Who are you looking at, Pat?
Yeah.
I think I take another wide receiver here, and
Yes.
with the injury history of some wide receivers in Chicago, I don't mind Rome Odunze in the 10th round.
Ooh. I thought you'd go your local wide receiver Xavier Worthy. Oh,
Tempting.
I like the Jameson Williams shout. I think he goes big this season. So we've got Ezekiel Elliott. Ooh. Well, Matt, you're the resident Cowboys fan. Would you be going Zeke in the 10th round?
I can answer that. No.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even take Dak in the
That's
10th
early
round.
for me. Jeez.
Interesting. I'm surprised Chase Brown's gone before Zach Moss.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
And that's who I'm going to pick.
I don't think Zach Moss isn't going to be doing nothing, right? Yeah, well, yeah, nicely done. Like you'd still think Zach Moss. It screams to me a very similar backfield to what we have in Detroit, where Chase Brown's in the Jimmy Gibbs role, and Zach Moss is in the Montgomery role, I suppose.
So when you blokes get to this stage of the draft, or are you waiting till later to potentially find A, some diamonds in the rough, or 2, some players that could potentially end up as RB1, QB1, and then look to trade them? Or I'll ask you first, Guns, what are your plans for later on in the draft, mate? Because hypothetically, you're using the waiver wire and what have you with these later picks, aren't you?
Yeah, so you really are taking a few punts here. I mean, you're not certain on. There'll be a few. There's a few guys that in the later rounds, particularly in these massively loaded positions like wide receiver, where there's some gold. Like the I know it's grim, but the Patriots wide receiver one's going at like pick 160. If it's Jalen Polk and if it's Demario Douglas, he's 185. So there's definitely lots of value at receiver later in the draft. Running back, I mean, there's a few backfields to target. Ones with committees, if you're looking for a later pick up someone that could emerge from nowhere. And yeah, win you a league or just give you an extra playable option.
Yeah.
Pat, we're back to you now. What are you looking for here?
Went a bit quicker than what I was expecting just now. I've just picked a wide receiver with Rome in Chicago. And I think I'll look to back up tight end here. And there's obviously some decent options at the moment with Schultz and Komet. But I think they're in offenses that have other strengths, particularly their wide receiver core. And I think Pat Frymouth is the guy to go with here. I understand the situation in Pittsburgh is a bit how you going, but I think he should bring in a fair amount of targets this season.
Yeah, it was an unusually quiet one for him last year. I do think that there's definitely some sort of workload there. And like in the 11th round, you can do worse than going with Frymouth. Yeah, interesting. I've noticed that Tyler Lockett's fallen a little bit in the draft. Do we think that's just an age thing? Because he was well ahead of Jackson Smith and Jigba last year.
I think Smith
Not this year.
is going to... Yes, I think he's going to take a big leap this year. He had a decent rookie season, and obviously Lockett is getting older.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm a bit stumped at this pick, I reckon. Well, I've always been a fan of him all preseason, and I believe he'll either be the number one, or I think he'll be the number one wide receiver on his team. I'm going Khalil Shakir in the 11th. I think that's pretty good value.
Guns is
You happy with that,
his
Morel?
balls. They're getting emptier and emptier. He's picking all these boys. I can almost
All of
predict
my
every
guys are
single.
coming today. So I've got
I
Anthony
can almost
Richardson,
predict every
Isaiah
pick he's going to do.
Pacheco. Yeah, well, okay. Let's have a bit of fun. I'll come up with my pick,
Get the
and
crystal
then
ball
I'll
out.
ask you what you think I'm doing. All right. I've got my pick lined up, provided he doesn't steal it. Who will I be selecting next then?
I actually don't know who you're going to go. I don't know who you're going to go because you've got all your boys already.
Yeah, well, no, there's a couple more. There's, of course, the Tyrone Tracy. Bit too early for him, and someone will snipe him just to spite me, but that's okay.
Is it a Carolina Panthers wide receiver, Nath?
I would try a southern accent there, but I can't. It's not Xavier Legette, no. I don't think he'll take him, but just in case. No, I'm going with the true Cowboys RB1, Rico Dowdle. The RB1 of the Cowboys. Yeah, the RB1 of the Cowboys. I'm surprised you didn't get that, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually a little bit disappointed.
I don't mind Xavier Legette, though. That's a pretty good shout. But interestingly, he was named at wide receiver 4 on the Panthers' unofficial depth chart today. Yesterday, rather. So I don't know if that's a bit of a.
I wouldn't trust that too much.
Only a matter of time before he's listed as number 1, I think.
Yeah. Sorry for the cutout there. But turns out you can't use multiple tabs at the same time. Who have we got on tomorrow? Giants Lions tomorrow at 9 a.m. How good's that? Oh, and Patriots Panthers. So we get to see Xavier Legette tomorrow. Oh, and you've got him, Pat.
Well,
Yeah, I think Carolina's definitely built up something. It'll take a little bit of time, obviously, but they've definitely improved on that wide receiver core they've got.
You'd think that he will probably.
the home run
I'll
threat.
be shocked. I'll be shocked if he's sitting behind Jonathan Mingo week 1.
They've actually
In
given
saying that-
Bryce Young something to work with this year.
Yeah, like I was tempted. Although I was joking that I would never pick Bryce Young. I was genuinely tempted to go him over Geno Smith. Ooh, Justin Fields. I love that pick.
I wanted him,
Yeah.
but I'm going to pick
What-
up the New York Jets wide receiver 2 when he comes back fully back from his ACL.
You picking the Mike Williams?
I am.
He came off pup today.
He did. Yep.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I love watching Mike Williams.
So I think that's a good pick in round
He's a
12.
big dude,
Yeah,
and
in round 12.
Aaron Rodgers in the
great
backfield. He'll get some decent ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Although Garrett Wilson's still going to have a ridiculous amount of targets and catches, like Mike Williams isn't going to get nothing, right? So
That's right.
I love that pick. Taysom Hill, that's always a bit of fun as well. Watching Taysom Hill line up in wildcat formation and run 50 yards to the house, that's the best thing on Monday morning.
Expect it at least 5 times
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah, it will happen 5 times for sure. Oh, Matrix is under the pump. Zach Charbonnet. I'm not a believer in Zach this year. Like you listen to the press conferences. Mike McDonald is it Mike McDonald? Yeah, Mike McDonald's barely mentioned Charbonnet once. He's been all about feeding Kenneth Walker and going with a pass-heavy offense, but there's been no mention of Charbonnet at all. I don't think he's not going to be in the same role he was last year. I think it's much less touches for him.
I'm going to take Josh Palmer here, I think.
Ooh.
I think he's going to have to go to a next level this year. He's got a good QB in Herbert. Lad McConkey's still a bit of an unknown. Palmer's 24, has that connection already. So
Lad McConkey's very known. He's arrived already, Matt.
If Lad McConkey's unknown, what does that make Quinton Johnston?
Oh,
he's very,
lost.
very, very shit.
He's a myth.
Oh,
Yeah, no, he hasn't played a snap yet, boys. Lad McConkey.
Neither is Marvin Harrison. There you go. Oh, Ricky Pearsall. I thought he would have gone in that 12th round there. I would have thought Ricky Pearsall would have gone in the 12th round. But yeah, I do quite like the pick. Okay, we're getting deadly on auto draft soon.
He's done, is he? Okay.
No,
Yeah.
he's got no. He's leaving. Bryce Young, Matt.
13th round, if you're looking for upside, former number 1 pick, second year, has to be a lot better. Better receiving core. Can I get what?
Yeah, there's a lot to like about that. There's some good parts in that Carolina offense. Like I really do like Deontay Johnson and Xavier Legette. Adam Thielen's solid as. And yeah, Jonathan Brooks I think is going to be a stud once he's fit and healthy.
Yeah.
We've gone. So we've gone Ricky Pearsall, Bryce Young, Brandon Cooks, and Troy Franklin so far in the 8th round. Pat, what's your thoughts on Troy Franklin this season?
Well, as a recently formed Oregon Ducks fan, I think he'll be. I think he'll be okay. It just depends on what Denver's plan is on offense. Obviously, they've traded Jared Judy away. It'll just be interesting to see. They've obviously got the running back probably committee. It looks like at this rate as well. So I think he gets involved. I think he's good enough to get that involved, and we'll just have to see how it works out with quarterback play and how it all works out.
Yeah. Now, I know he went down with an ankle injury today and he's touch and go for week 1, but Matt, Josh Downs in the 13th round, that's pretty good value for someone who's still projected to be the wide receiver 2 on a very good offense.
Yeah, high ankles sprains never really a good thing. They're such an unknown how long they can be. They could be 8 weeks, they could be 4 weeks. You just don't know. But Josh Downs healthy at the 14th round. He's 22 years old. He's a great route runner. He plays in the slot. I think it's a good pick.
Oh, am I on the clock?
Pat's going to get timed out.
No, boys. Just give me time to
Kendra
talk.
Miller. All right. I'm on the clock, am I? Well, what do I need here? It's probably tight end. I'm going to go. Yeah. Am I? No, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go. I talked recently about the what's it called? The New England Patriots wide receiver room. I heard nothing but impressive things about Jalen Polk. I quite like him as his draft profile coming into the 2024 season. So I think it's Jalen Polk time. Oh, back on the clock already. So we had Tyler Algier to round out the 13th, Cole Kmet to start the 14th round. Yeah, let's do it. It is, and Matt, I'm going to pick one of my favorite guys again. The favorite of the favorite guys, Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was coming.
Yeah. I could have waited, but I didn't think he'd make it back, to be honest. Particularly when you've got at running back, not much there.
Nah, it would be involved.
Well, I figure he should be involved in passing downs, and he'll still have some carries out of the backfield. So, and yeah, I mean we've talked about him at nauseum this season, so we'll keep it to a minimum. Marshall Lloyd,
as I said, you're the only guy in the world that's done a
30-minute podcast and
Tyrone Tracy. Jeez. Yeah.
Oh, Derek Carr. Run us through
I'm
that
not sure
one.
what my thinking was there, but I don't think he gets replaced by Spencer Rattler anytime soon, as much as I'd like to see it. So I think I could get a season's worth of play from Derek Carr.
Yeah, well, like he's a QB3, right? And he's got a lot of good weapons like Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, Rashid Shaheed, at full fitness, Juwan Johnson. So there's a strong enough supporting cast there for him to perform well. Not really sure. Oh, we've got Darnell Mooney. What are your thoughts behind that one, Mick?
I just read some things that he's looking to have a major role this year and an increase in production in the Atlanta offense. So given that it's the 14th round, looking as though he's more than likely going to be WR2, maybe WR3. This late in the draft, you're looking at upside. So,
yeah. I mean, look, if anything happens to Drake London, right, wide receiver 1, and Kirk Cousins is there, it's going to be a pretty pass-friendly offense.
It's going to be pass
despite
heavy,
having Bajan. Yeah. Jaleel McLaughlin. Nah.
Yeah, Bo Nix loves these running backs, so I think he'll be involved. Sean Payton loves his running backs. Javonte, still a question mark, but he'll be used. But it's a pass catching back. So, and the home run threat. I'm surprised he went this late.
I was tempted to go get Rashid Shaheed, but I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist Tyrone Tracy any longer. Who's your I'll put the question out to all of you. Who's your favourite late round sleeper this year?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. May not start the season immediately, but once he does, I think he's going to be very fantasy relevant.
Mhm.
Pat?
I know I didn't pick him up, but I really like Polk, and there's going to be some upgraded quarterback play, I think so, in New England. So we'll see how it goes from there. But I think Polk he's a very good receiver from college. I think he translates to the NFL very effectively.
Yeah. Matt, sorry. Who's your guy as a sleeper?
I actually liked Mick's pick in Darnell Mooney. I think that's a very good one. He's been the number one before in a different offense, and he shined. So
You're
Drake
welcome.
London still hasn't really hit the scene yet as a premier number one, and if he doesn't, Darnell Mooney will. So, yeah, I think that's a good pick.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What have I got here? I've got 1, 2, 4.
Murrell, while Pat and Guns look through who they're going to pick next, how do you see the quarterback situation in New England shaping up? Is Jacoby Brissett going to start?
I think he will, yeah. I honestly think he will. I don't think Drake May's 100% ready to go just yet. I actually want to say Drake May gets sat just to protect him a little bit. But, yeah, Brissett, experienced head, it's been around the league. Yep.
Roman Wilson, hey?
Second coming of Antonio Brown, hopefully without the post-career stuff.
Yeah, well, yes. CTE, catch the energy, hey? What are we looking at here? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to take possibly the most valuable handcuff in fantasy football.
Ooh.
In my opinion, it's Elijah Mitchell. It's the most valuable one. Anytime you're backing up the 101, the top running back in the league, in a dynamic offense like that, if McCaffrey misses any time this season, we saw how good Elijah Mitchell was in his rookie season. He's a very solid RB2 when a starter, and he is playable by himself. He will still have 10. He will still get close to double-digit carries in a game and is very good at finding the end zone. Tight end, well, I can't go past Mr. 87 targets himself, Tyler Conklin, as my final pick. Always solid. I could have gone Sanders, but Tyler Conklin, for some reason, he always gets pass catching volume, and I don't expect that to change with Aaron Rodgers. We've gone Jatavian Sanders. Deadly Sweeps is now on the clock. So we're approaching the last picks in the draft. I've picked all of my guys now. I'll quickly run through my team. So in the quarterback position, I've got Anthony Richardson and Geno Smith. In the running backs, I've got Isaiah Pacheco, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, Jonathan Brooks, Rico Dowdle, Tyrone Tracy, and Elijah Mitchell. At wide receiver, I've got CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, Ladd McConkey, and Khalil Shakir, and Jalen Polk. And then at tight end, I've got George Kittle and Tyler Conklin. Pat, your final pick. What
I
direction are you
think I'm
heading?
going to go handcuff a guy for myself, but also just a handcuff in the league. I hope at least
Braylon
with
Allen?
the pick, Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen.
He's an absolute unit, to say the least. And I think I've got Brees Hall as well, so if anything happens to him, I've got the next man up.
Yeah. 6'1", 235 pounds at just 20 years of age. Born in 2004. So, big fella.
Seems we're getting old.
Big. Don't know about you. Adam Thielen to round out Brano's draft. Ooh, I like the man you've got on screen there, Mick.
Yeah,
Javon Baker.
Yeah, I'm about him. I've heard a little bit about him, so just trying to read a little bit more. And there's a bit of noise coming out of the New England camp about him. So let's see.
It wouldn't shock me if their starting wide receiver trio is Jalen Polk, Demario Douglas, and Javon Baker. I reckon Kendrick Bourne's, if he's not traded, he could be a final roster squad cut.
Yeah, I reckon I was reading today that Kendrick Bourne could be part of the Brendan Ayuk trade. Is that right?
I think there was rumored that he would be, but the Patriots pulled out. Well,
Kendrick
actually,
Bourne.
Ayuk rejected the Patriots.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, Matt, what are you thinking for your final pick here? Well, never mind.
The guy's getting a lot of hype. Last pick of the draft. Yeah.
Failed first round pick. And to round out the draft, Malachi Corley from the New England Jets. If by some miracle Mike Williams isn't the same player, Malachi Corley is a pretty good final hit. I might just get you guys to run through your teams. So, Pat, can you run us through who you've selected today?
Yeah, at my first pick in pick number 8, I went Hall, Brees Hall, and Puka Nakua, Devon Achane, Mike Evans, Kenneth Walker, Zay Flowers, Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, TJ Hawkinson, Odunze from Chicago, Freemuth, Leggett, Kendre Miller, Derek Carr, Roman Wilson, and Braylon Allen.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice looking roster, and definitely some high upside sleepers down there, and from picks from round 12 onwards. Mick, who have you gone with in your draft today?
Sure. So I've started off with Robinson, even though they've got Kirk Cousins there. I still think he's going to be a big part of the offense. Jahmyr Gibbs, I've gone double running back stack to start with. Gibbs and Montgomery in the background for Detroit last year were fire. Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Tua, Pitts, Jones. I see a lot of upside in Deshaun Watson if he can stay healthy. Addison, Big Williams, a deep ball threat at Detroit. Dallas Goedert, Mike Williams, Jermaine Dotson, Mooney, the young bloke May at New England if he ever gets a crack, and finishing off with Mr. Baker at New England, who could potentially be WR2 or 3.
Yeah, that's a pretty good draft from you, Mick. And last but not least, Matt, who have you gone with today?
I'll start off with Christian McCaffrey, gone into Dak, the QB2 last year in fantasy. Marvin Harrison, bit of an unknown, but a lot of upside there. Pittman, Kamara. We've spoken a lot about Kamara in previous podcasts and how he just keeps getting it done. Christian Kirk, I think he's going to bounce back with Lawrence as my back-to-back picks. I've got 2 stacks there. I've gone Eckler, new team, new system. Hopefully he bounces back in the 8th round. This guy was a former number 1 pick just last year. Big Fergie, Dak's nearly his favourite target in the red zone. Zach Moss, RB1 potentially at Cincinnati. Worthy, who could be absolutely anything. He could be Tyreek Hill at Kansas City. That's probably best case scenario.
That's the hope.
Palmer, Yeah, Palmer, who could be the best receiver there at the Chargers. He's only 24, probably number 2, but we'll see. Bryce Young, bounce back year. And then McLaughlin, Rashid, Shaheed, and Bateman.
Yeah, again, I think we've all drafted pretty well today. Definitely across the 12 people that took part in the draft, certainly a lot of diverse strategies.
Mhm.
From those not on the board, not on the live stream here, I think Pac Fallon was probably my pick of the drafters outside of ours. He went with Armin St. Brown, Jamar Chase, Derek Henry, James Cook, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Raheem Mostert, David Njoku, Christian Watson, Hollywood Brown, Tyler Lockett, then J.K. Dobbins, Luke Musgrave, Marshall and Lloyd, Jermaine Burton, who I suppose if T. Higgins still finds his way to get traded somehow, that's a wide receiver too in a very pass-heavy offense. And Jatavian Sanders, who I quite like, but probably the 4th in line for targets on that offense. But he has the potential to work his way up to 3rd or 2nd. He's a pretty solid talent. Well, that should do us for today, barring anything else. I think that's everything covered.
Yeah, I reckon it is, mate. First of all, thanks to you guys for jumping on and giving the viewers at home a bit of an insight as to what we're thinking with our NFL drafts. And also, if you're at home, please hit like, subscribe, and put the bell on to watch these guys at it all season. They do know what they're talking about. They've got the inside goss on a few players here that will help you win your leagues. So remember to join the Discord, like us on YouTube, follow us on all good audio platforms and social media platforms, and let the blokes do the work for you.
All right. Well, on that note, thanks to Mick, Matt, and Pat for coming on today. And suppose we'll catch everyone on Monday when we'll go live again. And well, I still have no idea what we'll be talking about on Monday, but hopefully by then Brandon Ayuk's been traded, and that'll give us half an hour of chat. Yeah. Thanks for viewing, and we'll catch you next time.
Catch ya.